What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's start it with our first news. Dana White recently provided a significant update on Tom Aspinall's condition and what lies ahead for the heavyweight contender. Speaking during an interview with Jim Rome, the UFC president expressed his disappointment over the unfortunate ending to Aspinall's recent main event bout. White began by saying he was devastated by how the fight ended, especially given the anticipation surrounding it. When you're the main event, the energy is high, the crowd is fired up, and it looks like the fight is really starting to heat up, and then it ends with an eye poke. It's brutal, Dana said. He emphasized how heartbreaking it was for both the fighters and the fans who were expecting an intense, competitive showdown. According to White, Tom Aspinall is currently at home recovering and in good spirits despite the setback. He's doing okay. As soon as he's able to fight again, we're going to book the rematch with Cyril Gane, he confirmed. Dana went on to reassure fans that the injury wasn't as serious as many initially feared. As far as we know, there's no detached retina or major damage to the eye. That was our biggest concern. Thankfully, it's not as bad as it could have been. White added that the UFC will wait until Aspinall is fully healed before moving forward with scheduling. He should recover soon, and once we get the medical clearance, we'll figure out the best time to make the fight happen again, he said. The rematch between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane remains one of the most anticipated heavyweight fights in the division. With Aspinall's explosive power and Gane's elite striking, fans are hopeful the two will finally get to settle their unfinished business inside the octagon later this year. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Jon Jones recently opened up about his relationship with UFC President Dana White, expressing regret over how the Tom Aspinall situation unfolded and his desire to make amends. In a candid interview, Jones said he wants to personally apologize to Dana and rebuild the mutual respect that has defined much of their professional relationship. I want to apologize to Dana White for how the Tom Aspinall situation played out, Jones began. Dana has completely changed my life, and not just mine, but my children's lives as well. I'll always be grateful for that. Jones admitted that the two had a verbal agreement regarding a fight that ultimately didn't go as planned. We had a verbal agreement that didn't go over well, he said. Nothing was finalized, and I admit I was wrong in how things happened. I wouldn't say I feel guilty, but I do take responsibility. Jones went on to say that his most immediate goal is to compete on the upcoming White House card, an event that has become one of the most talked about potential UFC shows of the year. My focus right now is to be part of that card. I think it would be the perfect opportunity to make things right, he added. Despite giving Dana some space following the dispute, Jones expressed a strong desire to meet him face to face and move forward. I wish I could see him in person, shake his hand, and just apologize, so we can let bygones be bygones and get back to doing what we do best, making major money for the sport and putting on great fights for the fans, he said. Jones ended on a lighthearted note, reflecting on the ups and downs of his relationship with the UFC boss. When Dana's feeling me, I think I'm one of his favorite fighters, he joked. When he's not, I'm probably the reason he has a bald head. Move on to another news. Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping have both spoken out following Jon Jones' recent remarks about Tom Aspinall, offering a more balanced perspective on the situation. Jones, during an appearance on the No Scripts podcast, called Aspinall a quitter after his no-contest bout with Cyril Gane ended due to an accidental eye poke. He even labeled the British heavyweight a one-trick pony, comments that drew criticism from several members of the MMA community. Daniel Cormier, speaking on his YouTube channel, suggested that Jon Jones may have been too harsh in his assessment. When Jon Jones starts hearing people say that Tom Aspinall is the guy to beat him, he's going to look for any reason to downplay that, Cormier said. He explained that fighters often analyze potential opponents by focusing on weaknesses rather than strengths. Jon's watching Tom as a possible opponent, so naturally, he's saying, his wrestling isn't great, his jiu-jitsu isn't great, that's just what fighters do. But the truth is, that fight only lasted 4 minutes, not enough time to form any real conclusion about Tom's overall skill set. Cormier also reminded fans that Gane was having early success in the opening minutes, but the fight was still young. It's impossible to know how the remaining 21 minutes would have gone. We've seen fighters struggle early and come back stronger, just like Khabib did against Justin Gaethje, he noted. Michael Bisping echoed Cormier's sentiments, calling Jones' comments unfair. He referenced Aspinall's previous injury against Curtis Blades, saying, Jon criticized him for not continuing that fight, but that's not how serious injuries were. When you tear a ligament or damage your knee, you can't just fight through it. That doesn't make him a quitter, it makes him human. Both analysts agreed that Tom Aspinall deserves more respect, and that 4 minutes inside the octagon isn't enough to define a fighter's toughness, skill, or potential. Move on to another news. Max Holloway has responded to Diego Lopez's recent comments about wanting to face him in what Lopez described as his dream fight. The former featherweight champion reacted with his trademark humility and sense of humor, while also hinting that such a matchup might not be as far-fetched as fans think. "Dream fight is me?" Holloway said with a smile. "Man, that's crazy. The way I'm planning to fight these days, that dream might actually come true, bro." Holloway went on to acknowledge that Lopez has been making serious waves in the UFC with his aggressive style and fearless attitude. "He's a big boy, though," Holloway added. "If he ever steps up to 155, maybe we can make something happen. Who knows? Anything's possible in this game." Holloway's openness to facing Lopez speaks volumes about his competitive spirit. Despite already securing his place as one of the greatest featherweights of all time, Max continues to chase new challenges across multiple weight divisions. His recent performances, particularly his incredible knockout win over Justin Gaethje at lightweight, have reminded the MMA world that Holloway's skill, durability, and fight IQ remain elite. Diego Lopez, meanwhile, has quickly become a fan favorite thanks to his high-energy fighting style and willingness to take risks inside the octagon. A potential fight between the two would undoubtedly excite fans, blending Lopez's dynamic offense with Holloway's legendary volume, striking, and precision. Holloway closed his remarks by keeping things lighthearted but respectful. "I got nothing but love for Diego," he said. "He's doing his thing, earning his way up. If the stars align and the fans want it, hey, let's give them what they want." With both fighters known for their heart and showmanship, a future clash between Max Holloway and Diego Lopez could easily become one of the most thrilling matchups in UFC history. Move on to another news. Paddy Pimblett has fired back at Ilia Topuria, accusing the featherweight champion of stalling and refusing to sign the contract for their highly anticipated fight. The tension between the two fighters has been building for months, and according to Pimblett, it's Topuria who's holding things up. "All this guy ever does is talk about me," Pimblett said passionately. "He keeps saying I don't deserve to fight him, but if that's really how he feels, then why did he get in the cage and push me after his last fight? Everyone thought that meant the fight was on. Now suddenly, he's stalling and refusing to sign the contract." Pimblett didn't mince words when calling out Topuria's hesitation. "He's out here acting like I'm not on his level, but if I'm that easy of a fight, then step up. Take the fight and prove it. As Tyson said, sign the contract, big boy," he added, echoing the famous phrase used by boxing legend Tyson Fury. The British star, known for his confidence and charisma, has made it clear that he's ready and eager to fight. "I'm not the one holding back. I'm ready right now," Pimblett continued. "The fans want this fight, the UFC wants this fight, and I want this fight. The only one slowing things down is Ilia." Pimblett's comments come amid growing speculation that Topuria, who recently captured the featherweight title, may be eyeing other opponents or negotiating for a different timeline. However, Paddy insists that Topuria's delay shows doubt. "If he's really the best, he should have no problem stepping into the octagon with me," he said. "You can't talk all that trash and then go quiet when it's time to sign." With both fighters boasting massive fanbases and fiery personalities, a clash between Pimblett and Topuria would be one of the UFC's most explosive matchups, if Topuria finally signs the deal. Move on to another news. At UFC 321, Walter Walker secured an incredible victory over Luis Sutherland, winning by heel hook just 84 seconds into the first round. The win marked Walker's fourth consecutive finish via heel hook, an impressive streak that continues to establish him as one of the most dangerous submission specialists in the sport. However, in a surprising post-fight revelation, Walker disclosed that he actually fought and won the bout with a broken leg. Speaking with MMAfighting.com, Walker revealed that his fibula was cracked early in the fight after a powerful kick from Sutherland. "I felt it the moment he kicked me," Walker said. "I felt my leg break. When I put my foot back down, it wasn't listening to me. I knew something was wrong right away." Realizing the severity of the injury, Walker understood that he needed to finish the fight immediately. "I told myself, I need to go for a takedown and end this fast. If he kicked me again, I'd lose. You can't show pain in there. If you do, your opponent gains confidence," he explained. Despite the pain, Walker managed to hide the injury and secure a quick submission victory. After the fight, even his own team didn't believe the extent of his injury. "My wife and coach didn't believe me. I went home limping, but I was still walking. even helped move bags into our new apartment. He laughed. I told myself to ignore the pain, but after 3 days, it got worse. When he finally visited the doctor, the X-ray confirmed a fractured fibula. I couldn't believe it. The doctor said it wasn't a complete break, so no surgery was needed, just a cast and time, Walker shared. He's now using crutches and expects to recover fully within 5 to 6 weeks. I wanted to fight again in December, he said, but realistically, I'll be ready to return by February or March. Walker's determination to push through a broken leg and still win shows his incredible toughness and warrior mentality, traits that will only make his comeback even more inspiring. Move on to another news. Michael Venom Page has shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated matchup between Leon Edwards and Carlos Prates at UFC 322. The flashy striker expressed excitement for the bout and confirmed that he's keeping a close eye on both competitors, hinting that he'd be open to facing either man next. However, Page made it clear that he's leaning toward Leon Edwards as the likely victor. This is an exciting fight that I'll definitely be watching closely, Page said. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates is an interesting clash of styles. Carlos is an amazing, new, and exciting fighter, someone I'd be happy to fight. Leon, on the other hand, is a name I've already spoken about publicly because a fight with him would be huge, especially in the UK. Page acknowledged that Edwards has faced some challenges in recent outings, but believes people are too quick to write him off. Leon's been on a bit of a decline, but that's only against specific types of fighters, he explained. I think a lot of people are underestimating him because of that. This matchup is going to be mostly a stand-up fight, and while Carlos has serious striking power, I don't see him taking it to the ground. According to Page, Edwards' experience and well-rounded skill set give him a clear advantage. Leon has the better ground game, he continued. He can mix things up, take Carlos down, and control him from the top. That'll slow the pace of the fight and allow Leon to dictate where it goes. While acknowledging Prates' unpredictability, Page still believes Edwards' composure will prevail. Carlos has the ability to land something wild, a spinning elbow, a crazy kick, but Leon's tough. He's not someone you're going to put away easily, Page said. For me, this fight leans heavily in Leon's favor. With MVP eyeing both contenders, a potential matchup with the winner could set up one of the most electrifying welterweight showdowns in recent UFC history. Move on to another news. Jack Della Maddalena recently opened up about his personal MMA Mount Rushmore, revealing the 4 fighters he believes have had the greatest impact on the sport. Known for his striking precision and calm demeanor inside the octagon, the Australian welterweight gave thoughtful insight into the legends he admires most and why they stand above the rest. When asked to name his top 4 fighters of all time, Della Maddalena began with the name almost everyone expected, Jon Jones, he said without hesitation. He's one of the most complete fighters ever, dominant across multiple generations, adapting to every challenge. Jones' longevity, skill diversity, and dominance clearly earned him the top spot on Jack's list. Next, Della Maddalena mentioned 2 other icons, BJ Penn and Georges St. Pierre. I'd put BJ Penn up there, he said. He was one of the most naturally talented fighters ever, fearless, technical, and fought anyone at any weight. However, Jack admitted that GSP and Anderson Silva might slightly edge Penn in his final rankings. I think GSP, BJ, Jon Jones, and Anderson Silva, those are the names I'd go with. Anderson probably gets the nod over BJ Penn for me, but BJ's just outside that top 3. For me, he's still right there. After naming those legends, Della Maddalena took a moment to consider his final pick. Maybe even Fedor Emelianenko, he said. He was so dominant back in the Pride days, unbeatable for years, and he did it against some really tough competition. What he accomplished during that time was special. Ultimately, Jack's Mount Rushmore, Jon Jones, Georges St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, and Fedor Emelianenko, reflects a balance of greatness across eras and styles. Each fighter represents dominance, innovation, and longevity, qualities Della Maddalena clearly strives to emulate in his own rising UFC career. Move on to another news. During a lighthearted and unexpected moment, UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev playfully interrupted an interview between his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, and MMA analyst Josh Thompson. The unscripted exchange quickly turned into a humorous interaction that showed a different side of the usually composed and focused fighter. As Abdelaziz and Thompson were deep into their discussion, Makhachev suddenly appeared on camera, smiling and asking with a laugh, "What are you guys doing? Great people, huh? What are you doing? Making some barbecue grill?" His casual interruption instantly broke the formal tone of the interview, drawing laughter from both men. It was a reminder of the camaraderie camaraderie and family-like atmosphere that often surrounds Team Khabib and Ali's fighters. Josh Thompson, caught off guard but amused, played along with the moment. The conversation quickly shifted to some friendly teasing, as Islam jokingly praised Ali's interview skills. "Honestly, man, Josh, Ali is very good with his microphone," he said, grinning. Thompson couldn't help but laugh as Makhachev continued, "He's better than you. You're like way down here, bro." The comment left everyone laughing, including Ali himself, who has long been known for his outspoken personality and passion for his fighters. Thompson responded in good spirits, reminding Islam that he's still learning. Islam nodded playfully, saying, "I'm still learning from Ali," emphasizing the close bond and mutual respect between the two. This short but entertaining interruption perfectly captured Makhachev's personality outside the cage, relaxed, humble, and full of humor. While fans are used to seeing him in intense training sessions or dominant fights, moments like this remind everyone that behind the champion is a down-to-earth athlete who enjoys having fun with his friends and mentors. Move on to another news. Despite their long-standing rivalry and history of tension, former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold recently surprised fans by agreeing with Strickland on one major point. Strickland might actually be the toughest stylistic challenge for Khamzat Chimaev in the middleweight division. Speaking candidly, Rockhold admitted that while he's not a fan of Strickland, he recognizes that Sean's unique fighting style and relentless pressure could pose serious problems for Chimaev. Rockhold explained that Strickland's strength doesn't necessarily lie in his grappling technique but in his ability to stay on his feet. "He's not that great on the ground," Rockhold said, "but he's annoyingly hard to hold down." This resilience, Rockhold believes, could neutralize Chimaev's wrestling-heavy game plan. If Khamzat can't keep him down, that's where it could get tough, he added, noting that Strickland's cardio and durability make him extremely difficult to break. Rockhold, who has trained with some of the best grapplers in the world, elaborated that Chimaev's biggest challenge wouldn't be landing the takedown, it would be maintaining control. "Sean's the kind of guy who just keeps getting back up," he said. "He doesn't get tired, and Khamzat doesn't either. If Khamzat can't settle into a rhythm on the feet or keep Sean grounded, it becomes a very dangerous fight." The two fighters have even trained together in the past at Extreme Couture, which adds another psychological layer to the potential matchup that plays a role in both their heads, Rockhold pointed out. "You can see Sean talking loud and confident. It's not just for show. He really believes he can do something." While Rockhold maintains his personal dislike for Strickland, he acknowledged one thing: Sean Strickland isn't scared of anyone, that's just who he is. And if a fight between him and Chimaev ever materializes, Rockhold believes fans could be in for one of the most intense and unpredictable middleweight clashes in recent UFC history.